Warning: Josh is not an expert in any of the things he talks about. He simply uses his head and does a lot of research so you, the audience, don't have to. Keep in mind, he doesn't know everything, so take the things he says with a grain of salt. What's going on, everyone? This is Josh Said What, the podcast that will change the world. Today, I have a very special guest. He is the owner of Xayaveth Gym. I have here with me the one and only Vinn Xayaveth. What's going on, my man?
What's up, bro? Sweaty Cobb. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited for the new year, and yeah, man, a lot of good things happening this year.
Nice. Now, you guys had an epic 2023.
Yeah, it was a pretty good year for us. I mean, we had quite a bit of fights, so it's hard for me to really put my finger on one significant fight, but you know, it was a pretty solid year.
Nice, yeah. We saw some high top prospects coming out of 2023, like Jorge Figueroa, and then you got Jose Aquino, which he's definitely one of my top favorites in the Muay Thai scene right here.
Yeah, man, he's definitely a fan favorite. Super exciting. Jorge is an up and comer that's, I think, really gonna shine this year too. Jorge is gonna be fighting in the WBC tournament in Thailand. February 2nd through the 5th. So this is going to be his first time competing internationally under 3-minute rules. It's basically pro rules. So it's going to be a good step up in competition, and I'm excited to see where he goes.
Nice. So give me a breakdown. How does those tournaments work over in Thailand? Because he's going to be fighting multiple guys in the same weekend, right?
Yeah, so it's I think it's like a 4-day tournament. There's over 60 different countries competing in there. And you're essentially just fighting every day. You know what I mean? Damn. Fighting every day, making weight every day. It's a really tough test between everyone. You know what I mean? Because now we have, I think there's 75 American athletes that are going to represent Team USA. So it's not just our team. So we're going there collectively as a group. So we're really just going to have to learn to work with each other, you know what I mean? And sometimes there's 4 rings in the event, so we might have 4 Americans fighting at the same time. So it could get stressful at times, but you know, it's going to be a good challenge for everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, especially too when you think about it. You know, here in the States, whenever we see fighters compete, it's usually just one fight in the weekend. Right. And the whole camp and then the fight itself, usually that does enough to where they're like, I'm good now, I won or I lost, and I'm just going to chill, relax. But in like tournaments, for example, as you said, they have to constantly make weight. They got to fight multiple times in a 4-day period. So it's just absolutely insane on the cardio, the endurance, the tolerance for the pain and the punishment.
For sure. I mean, fighting 4 days in a row is pretty tough on the body, let alone you're going to be fighting different countries that even have government assistance to help them train, you know what I mean? So the competition is going to be really rough, really rough.
Yeah. But what do you think about the Muay Thai scene now that's growing in the U.S.? Because you said now we got 75 American fighters that's going to be competing. Like, I think it's like you see go back like 5-10 years ago, it wasn't as popping, but now Muay Thai is just really hitting the scene.
Yeah, I think Muay Thai is starting to hit its peak here in the West. You know what I mean? There's a lot of interest in it going on. I think because of these tournaments that are happening, it's allowing more people to get involved. And yeah, I think it's really catapulting, and it's really getting its shine that it deserves. You can also credit One Championship for that too. You know, they kind of were listening to the public and basically saying, like, you know, the guys that were watching MMA, they're like, why we don't like watching grappling and such. So one was like, well, if you don't like watching grappling, let's just do Muay Thai with MMA gloves, and that took off. You know, that's why those guys are getting paid good, and it's one of the most exciting sports on television right now.
Absolutely, especially with Muay Thai, it's really what you call beautiful violence, because
Yeah.
I remember back when at Rough 53, when you had the entire Muay Thai Super Series that you hosted, you really saw the tradition and the original values of Muay Thai come out,
Yeah.
with how they'd seal the ring, the entire presentation, the humility and the approach to it. But then once you actually step in, oh no, hell's loose. You're trying to kill him.
Right. It's like poetic violence. Yeah. I mean, we're actually piloting a new show coming March
Oh.
8th. It's going to be stadium rules based for amateurs. So it's going to be 5-round championship fighting. We're going to do an 8-man Grand Prix.
Oh.
So it's going to be 8-man, 5-round fights for everybody over the course of 3 different shows. But the grand prize will be a full expense paid trip to Thailand to train at my friend's gym, Sol Decapant in Bangkok, Thailand.
Hey, that's super dope. So give me more of a breakdown of that. You said it was in March, right?
Yeah, March 8th. It's scheduled to be at Stratus Event Center. Right now, I'm actually gonna make the release of the marketing materials tomorrow, which is like what, the 12th.
Yeah, I think like 12
Something
or
like
so.
that.
Yeah.
So we'll release that tomorrow, and I'll be looking for the best 61 kilogram fighters to fight in this 8-man Grand Prix, and so that way we can kind of honor them and take them to Thailand, you know, because that's where the Mecca is, and that's where we feel like if you're going to take fighting seriously, you have to go there and experience it at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Now it's a guaranteed fact I'm going to be there. Because Stratus, literally just down the street from me, it's like an 8-minute drive, so I'm going to be there now.
Yeah, man. You know, I really love the West Side, and the West Side has shown me a lot of love. So that's why it's taken me a little bit of time to regroup my team and bring my show back, you know, because I haven't put on a show for almost a year. It's going to be about a year since Muay Thai Super Series.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I really love the West Side, and we finally got something locked in at the Stratus, and I'm excited to do this for the West Side.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such prime time that you're doing it now, because, I mean, bro, there's so many amateur Muay Thai kickboxers now in this scene. And then even not just in the Valley, but you go up to Flagstaff, you got Mike Martinez, his gym. You could go down to Tucson, even up in Vegas. Like, right now it's popping. So it's like a perfect time to really start bringing the talent in. And Arizona, especially having the top prospects that it's having right now, it's going to be insane.
Absolutely. I mean, I love Arizona. I wasn't even from here to begin with. I actually came from Oregon.
Oh,
and
okay.
I've been here for 12 years now, and I've never left. You know what I mean? This is like the central ground for combat. Arizona just loves combat sports, whether it's jiu-jitsu, MMA, boxing, wrestling. Like, it's just a very strong state for those type of physical sports. So I just never left. I loved it. I loved all of the opportunities it provided, and yeah, man, Arizona is a place that's why I call it Bangkok, Arizona.
I remember you were calling it that.
Because it's like a central hub. You got California that has some top talent. You have New Mexico that's got talent. You got Las Vegas that's got talent. So we could just pool them all here. We can pull them all here. It's an easy travel for here, and we have amazing shows that come out of Arizona.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, now we're starting to see, for Muay Thai specifically, we're seeing fighters coming out of even Texas, like up in the northeastern states. So it really speaks volumes for how much traction Arizona is getting, and it's like it's setting a new foundation for the next wave.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really kind of like showing people that there is a place to go to compete here, and it's popular, you know what I mean? Because even you have Golden Gloves boxing, you have the USMCO, you have Fabiano's show, Samurai Soul, you have my shows that come out. So this is a real playing ground for whatever may interest you, you know what I mean? And I feel like the more that we all work together to promote whatever sport we're working on, it's going to make us a hot spot for combat sports.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's why I love the community here, especially in Arizona, because everyone is so tight knit in a sense that you can't just go to an event and not run into somebody that you know or that you work with.
For sure.
Yeah, and just the focal point for the opportunities here, especially, is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And like, how many fighters do you have fighting out of your gym?
Man, we just took on 10 new fighters last year, like at the end of last year. So
Really?
I think now the roster is almost 30.
Damn.
30 fighters. I could probably fill 2 people in every weight division right now.
Nice. That's pretty dope.
You know what I mean? And everybody's got at least about 3 fights. So you know, they're ready to bang. They're still green, but they're you know, they're ready to fight anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, what got this gym started? Like, how long ago was it when you first built this up and got it going?
Man, so I first opened my gym in 2008.
Really?
2008, because I was just getting into trouble. I was just getting into trouble, and I needed something positive in my life. My first son was born, and you know, I was like, you know, if I don't do this, then I'm gonna go to jail. And I don't want to be there, so
Yeah.
I had to make a decision. So I opened that gym. Back then, obviously, I wasn't mature enough to operate a gym because I wanted to have fun still. You know what I mean? My friends were out at the lake. I wanted to go to the lake too. I didn't want to sit at this business. Well, you know what I mean? And so that business just crumbled and failed. And eventually, I started going back to getting in trouble, back and forth. But you know, something kept leading me back to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Something kept bringing me back, and then eventually I opened a few gyms, or I partnered with a few people, and long story short, we just I ended up opening a gym because the fighters that basically begged me to train them. You know what I mean? I was like, man, I don't even want to be a coach right now, but at the time I didn't even have a job, so he was just like, I'll pay you this much, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Took the job, and then it just rolled out that way, you know.
Yeah.
More people started hearing about me, and all of a sudden, all these other gyms wanted to hire me, and then it just started rolling down the hill. You know what I mean? I ended up opening a small ass gym, and then that vision started breaking through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To where I was like, damn, okay, I'm gonna be a coach. What could I do to be a coach? I could start a nonprofit, you know what I mean? So I started a nonprofit because at that time, my whole goal is to not just build fighters. I wanted to help people, you know what I mean? Because I know what the sport did for me, so I wanted to make sure that anyone who was in my shoes could have that opportunity that I needed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for me now, it's not so much about building fighters. Building fighters is easy. You know what I mean? Like, I could make anybody a fighter. But
Yeah.
can you make good people? That's what's lost
Right.
these days. And I feel like that's more important for me to build good people than it is to build champions. Because you could be a champion and a piece of shit, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna care about you.
Yeah, exactly.
know
So
what I
you
mean?
like the idea of rooting back to the old fashioned style of what martial arts is supposed to be, to hone yourself, find yourself, create that discipline, get out of trouble, sharpen your tools, and then just set the path for yourself.
100%, bro. Because I mean, if I didn't have that in my life, I probably would still be in the streets right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because I had exposure to Muay Thai at a young age, even though I was exposed to a more negative crowd too, that I felt like I wanted to be a part of, I always had this thing in my heart that was like, this isn't right, you should do this. You know what I mean? Although it was cool for me to roll with them, something always told me like, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And luckily, when I did finally come back to the gym, it matured me more. It made me understand like what was more important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I got to work on myself. I wasn't influenced by the streets. Like, oh, you got to come put in work with it. You got to do this. You got to do that. It wasn't about that anymore. It was about like a broader vision now. Like, from either just training to be a fighter to now being a coach to now creating something that's a lot bigger than myself. You know what I mean? Like now we have a nonprofit that's trying to build a stage for people like me that may have needed that opportunity that might not have had it then. So now we're trying to be that lane for people that may need it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate the choir on that, man, because it's really admirable, especially when there's so many incentives nowadays for kids, teenagers, or even young adults to fall down the wrong path. Because especially like when you look at the modern age society with how high like obesity rates, how less inclined people are to be active or to really push themselves and see what they're capable of and be active in that way, it's a lot harder. So it's major respect to that, especially because with like in the valley where you deal with a lot of criminal issues, it's easy for the kids to get in the streets. So for you to provide a platform, be like, hey, I managed to pull myself out and I made something of myself in a great fashion. This is how you could do it too. So you're laying the pathway for them to, well, not only find their own way, but find that success.
Right. 100%. Right. Because before I used to be ashamed of like what my past used to be, you know what I mean? But that's why now that I get older, now I know why I'm in the West Valley. You know what I mean? Because I can relate to these kids. These kids will listen to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're not going to listen to fucking the dude with the bachelor's degree that's going to tell you how to live life and stuff. Like, you have no idea how these kids are raised in the streets. You know what I mean? You don't know, like, when he leaves that door today, someone is going to influence him to probably try to do something negative.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You don't have those type of pressures, and you don't have that type of survival instincts that kick in when you're in those environments.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's like it's always, if you've always been on the good path and you've had an easy, good life, and no discredit to them at all, but when you've had it that easy in life, it's really hard to understand the true value of what you have when you haven't experienced what you've lost or those bad things. So it's like when you have that trauma, you're given like a crossroads. I'm having a philosophy. So when you go through all that trauma, you're on a crossroads where either you go down a path where you let it consume you, it starts to become your identity, your subconscious starts making you do things to get you in trouble to just justify your own pain, or you could go down the path where you utilize that pain and turn it into peace and joy for others, so that others either don't have to go through a period or they can find a way out of it and become a better version of themselves.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Like, I feel like I'm just a walking piece of that. Like, I'm not going to say I have it all figured out, but I can at least show people, like, I didn't even finish high school, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't finish high school, but I learned to open a business. I learned to be a fight promoter. I learned to create brands. Like, you can do it. You can do it if you put your mind to it, but it started from Muay Thai. Like, I learned how to do all those things because I wasn't afraid to face my fear. And my first fear was to stand in front of another man and fight. You know what I mean? And the preparation of not wanting to lose. So when I had those things in my mind, I was like, all right, well, I could open a business, you know what I mean? Because at one point I failed before, just like I've lost the fight. I've lost the fight before. I know what it's like to lose. I know what it's like to get hit now. So I can handle these punches of life that come at you. So when I start something, I know I'm going to survive it. I'm still here today. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of things that try to kill me, and I'm still walking.
Exactly.
So it's like, why not? Why not try it out? The worst thing that could happen is you fail. Who cares?
And that's part of the learning. You know, it's like you could either let the failure be the identity of the actual failure, or it's a learning lesson on what to overcome or what adversity you have to face and then what you have to improve. So, like, going across the board like that, it's, what was it? Had a brain fire. I forgot what I was going to say originally.
I mean, dude, I failed my way here today.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever I thought in my mind, I was just willing to shake the dice and do it. You know what I mean? And if it sucked, it sucked. I was willing to accept it, right? You just don't have attachment to anything that might cause you harm, because like they all say, is like the root of all suffering is attachment. So I mean, if you're attached to not failing or success, then you're gonna probably fail because you're attached to not failing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you let that fear consume you almost.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, I try to be a simple, realistic person as much as I can. You know what I mean? And give back. Like, I'm not trying to be a preacher, and I'm not trying to be nothing like. I try to keep it as real as possible. That's why when you come to my gym, I mean, you'll see so many different people. You'll see ex-gang members to police officers to firefighters. They all train together, but they all show the same respect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're here for one reason, and that's to get better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I mean? As long as we all have that same understanding, I mean, we are going to get better. You know what I mean? No one gets judged here, bro. You could be anything you want to be in here. I don't care what you claim. You could be a fucking cat. You could be, I don't care. As long as you come in here and say, I want to fucking work, that's all that fucking matters to me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like if you feel you have the capacity to make a great change, it's almost like you feel an inherent obligation to do so. And it's just from seeing the impact you have on these individuals and then the groups too and how it spreads, that's what makes that very worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know, it's too, because there was something else I was going to add on that, in a sense that I find it interesting that with combat sports especially, you find it where it has almost the most sense of like diverse unity, in a sense, like you said, you've had ex-gang members and police officers trained together, and typically in a normal societal setting, there's really no interaction. There's None. In fact a barrier, but here all those barriers break down, and it's like, bro, you and I, we're brothers together in this. We're both flesh and blood. Let's make each other better.
100%, bro. Even in sparring, like, they don't even see each other as who they are, as their titles are. They come in here as normal people like you and I. Mm-hmm. They're just trying to get better. They're trying to either relieve the stress that's on their mind or whatever it may be that they're here for. That's what they're here for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're not here to judge you. They're not here to be like, oh, that guy's kick sucks. Like, nobody cares. Everyone's kick sucked at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So at least if you're not going to help them, then don't say nothing. That's kind of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, why are you going to be here to judge someone if you ain't going to be the one to help them?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And I remember, because I said that I was going to point it out, that your sign that you have up front, that I fucking love it. It's so hilarious.
Like I said, bro, we just keep it real. We just keep it real, bro. And it's, you know, we keep it real, we keep it funny. Even the kids, like the kids class, same way, bro. Like, I don't treat the kids any different. I treat them just like they're little dudes, you know what I mean? Like little adults. And they actually respond better than that, to that. You know what I mean? Because if you start talking to them like little kids, they kind of look at you like, I don't know, they just look at you different. Or maybe it's because the kids here are a little bit more mature now that they fought. I honestly don't know. But, like, they respect you more when you talk to them like they're adults.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when I went to the elementary school to teach Muay Thai, part of their PE curriculum, you know what I mean? They're goofing off, they're doing that. But once you get their respect, everything just changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you talk to them like they're human beings or on your level, everything's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they literally will respect you like you guys are on the same level. You guys almost connect better. Having the respect of the kids, right? Just talking to kids like they're little adults. You know what I mean? Like, they have some responsibility. Because I know once you talk to them like you don't respect them, they kind of don't respect you. You know what I mean? Like, once you talk to like you just talk to them like you're just better than them or something, you know what I mean? Like, they don't respect you. And I think that's why I kind of relate to a lot of these kids here in the West Valley too, is because, you know what I mean, even though I'm older than them, they look at me like I'm an OG. Like, when I speak to them, they know that I have experience. So whatever they might have maybe feeling at the time, they know that I may have experience to speak on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, I think that really lies heavily too, like what you said. It's when you try to talk to them like they're kids, it's almost like it gives them an instinctive pass that they're allowed to goof off and do all this extra stuff and not follow along. Versus when you just straight up treat them like adults too, and you're just fair with them, you get more of that respect, and they actually start to listen. Yeah. And that's why I like the atmosphere of, you know, it's like being in the gym, being in combat sports, because what like casual people don't necessarily think about is like in this sport, shaming is actually a good thing, because it's the fact that you guys are hard on each other in the gym in order to push each other to be better. That's why it's at times it's also like a reinforcer, because if you got a buddy, for example, he's having an off day and he's just not wanting to get anything done, you're going to say whatever you can to help encourage him. Obviously you ain't going to go too far, but you're going to like really get at him to help him get going and then push him. And then afterwards is always the same thing. Thank you for pushing me through that. I needed it.
Right. Some guys just need that kick in the ass. Right. They need that little kick in the ass, a little bit of motivation. To me, I mean, for me, it's situational too. Like, some guys can handle it, some guys don't. Like, there's guys that in the corner, I'll go up and smack the shit out of them when they're fucking up. You know what I mean? I'll smack the dog shit out of them and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they'll wake the fuck up. Right? And there's some people that if I'm yelling at them, they won't even respond. They'll just look at me, just went through one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? So it's all situational, right? Depending, you just got to understand how people take information. And that way you can get it to them to get it done, right? Because obviously in the corner, you only have 1 minute to speak to them. So if I'm cussing you out and you don't understand a damn thing I'm saying, that was just not worth anything of my time to cuss you out, besides just my own ego and emotions, right? But if that's just how you get turned on, right, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Exactly.
I mean, there was times like at the USMGO, man, this dude was just waiting for a dude to hit him. So when he came back to the round, I just went up and smacked the dog shit out of him, right? I was like, what are you doing, bro? Like, what are you waiting for? You know you're in a fight, right? Like, this is the last fight that you have to do. Why would you just wait there to get hit?
I'm dead.
You know what I mean? Like, I was so pissed. And then he went back and knocked the dude out.
Nice.
So, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's situational, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's too great. Like, the fact that, well, I mean, first off, the fact that you get your own emotions invested at that shows that you care.
Yeah.
Because, like, oftentimes, like, when we got people that we know got tremendous talent, but they may not have the discipline to stay in the gym, like, you get frustrated with them, because it's like, I want to smack the shit out of you because you have so much potential and I know what you can achieve.
For sure.
But it's just, you're psyching yourself out. And that's where, like, mental health, too, in the fight community is really cool with how it's approached.
Yeah. Yeah, our gym our gym environment is all like that. So it's not just me that does it. Everyone's like that. You're gonna get heat from everybody every day. Doesn't matter what you do, you're gonna get heat. It's like it just depends who walks through the door that day, who's gonna get the most heat. But it's like brotherly love, right?
Exactly.
It's brotherly love, because one day one of these guys will beat this dude's ass, and the next day I'm gonna beat your ass the next day, and it just goes back and forth.
Yep.
And then the other guy would jump in. It's like, no, I'm gonna sweep you, and it just comes in this brotherly rivalry, and we have this group chat where they just all talk shit to each other all day long.
I love it.
All day long. They'll send memes to each other. Like, we have a good brotherly gym, man. And it's not just the fighters, bro. It's literally like everybody that's here. Like, no matter who you are, whether you're here to fight or just learn Muay Thai, like, you all train together. Everyone. That 6 p.m. class, you may train with a professional fighter, or you might train with someone that doesn't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But you're all in that same class. Like, I don't treat anybody differently, because you're here to learn Muay Thai, and I don't know how to teach it any other way than the way I was taught.
Yep.
Which is, I was taught to be a fighter. So whether you want to be a fighter or not, you're gonna learn to be one. You know what I mean? That's all I know how to be, and you know what I mean. And there's only one way to be Muay Thai, and it's tough, it's strong, it's painful. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I was forged. I don't want to be forged any other way. Yep. Now that I'm forged the way that I am, you know what I mean? Like, if I got forged this strong by Muay Thai, why would I want to give someone else a weaker blueprint?
Yep.
Right? Like, that's just me making you weaker because of what? Like, I don't want that. I want you guys to be as strong as me, if not stronger.
Exactly. That's the cool thing too about martial arts, is that it's about the evolution of the student always surpassing the master and keeping that cycle going.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you say a sword, when it's forged, it's not forged in sunshine and rainbows. You got to stick it in the heat. You got to hammer it, and you got to sharpen it and sharpen your craft. So it's the same thing with us as individuals. The way we progress is through sharpening our experiences, sharpening our trauma, sharpening all of our hard work and our sacrifices into a single initiative that brings out the best in us, that helps you get that W, that leads you to motivate you to help others to do this and that, especially for kids.
Right. Yeah. I mean, having hardship is what makes life interesting, right? Because if it wasn't tough, what the fuck, life wouldn't be. You wouldn't be able to appreciate what good is.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even know what good is, because it would just be good all the time. Like, you have to have that. That's how you build character. That's how you know, like, who you are inside.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because, like I said, no disrespect to people that have, like, silver spoons, but it's like, they don't understand what it's like for some of these kids in the West Valley that really have nothing but survival instincts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't have the privilege of like knowing there's a safety net or something that's going to protect them when they're literally trying to figure out what they're going to eat later that day.
Yep.
Because their stomach is grumbling. You know what I'm saying? And once you're at that point in life, rules don't really matter anymore.
Yep.
Because you have to cover that bottom line. You know what I mean? People are going to be willing to break the rules because you're in survival mode.
Yep. Exactly. And it's like when the more, it's like, especially too with how in West Valley and just everything in general, when more in poverty you are, the more incentivized you are to resort to criminal means in order to meet that bottom line. Right. And so you're seeing these kids also, like, they're in situations where there's a shooting that happens or one of their buddies get killed. Like, there's a couple of my buddies from back in high school that ended up getting killed because they were just rolling with the wrong crowds. So it's like, it's especially, like you said, it's not take a dig at people that's never had it hard or that grew up with a silver spoon, but it's like, in a philosophical sense, the free will, free choice is the fact that you went through so much trauma and hardship and you chose to be better.
Exactly. Because
you could have just gone down the easy way and let it consume you, and then you continue the chain. But for you to effectively and actively choose to turn it to a force of good, that's a wrap.
Right. And we can't just blame them for just going down that route, because some people just don't know.
Exactly.
Right? And some people just have no idea. And like they say, it's like, if you knew better, you'd do better. But some people really don't fucking know. Yeah. They have no idea what is on the other side of that fence of gangbanging or whatever the hell it may be. They have no idea. All they know is what the big homie told them. Yep. Right? They don't know any different. They're just like, this is how it is, bro. This is how we live around here. You gotta respect your hood. You gotta do this for your hood. Yep. When they're peeking over there, like, damn, it looks kind of nice over there, though. You know what I'm saying? But you got the OG like, nah, we do this over here. This is our turf. You gotta represent our turf. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So you have that influence, but then you gotta have someone like me that's coming along that's like, hey, nah, I used to be that dude. I used to be that OG that was like, we got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? But now, I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I created something that an avenue for all of us to get out if you really wanted to. But it started here in the gym, right? I have homies now that started to do Muay Thai now. You know what I mean? The dudes that just got out of prison, and they're starting to get back into Muay Thai because they're just like, bro, like, this is all I know. You know, nobody wants to fuck with me because I got a felony and shit. Yeah. So they come back to the game. They want to be involved in the sport that could help them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and a lot of situations too. It's like, it's while yes you're in a shitty situation, you also get comfortable, and people, they get comfortable with the familiar. So whenever they're constantly exposed, they don't know any better, and that's all they know is the harder style of life where you're in more active with gangs and everything. So it's like the fact that you're in those settings and you turn it around speaks volumes, because it's so easy to get comfortable and to stay in the same bad situation because you're scared of the change, you're scared of what's new. That's how a lot of people just kind of keep it going. But because it's uncomfortable. Yeah, exactly. Any change is uncomfortable. There's people that, like, I don't even like going to the gym to work out. You know what I mean? I fucking hate it. I hate lifting weights. I'm going to say it right now. I fucking hate going to the gym. Why? I don't know why, because I think it's boring. But when I did go those very few times that I did, it was uncomfortable as fuck for me. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to be uncomfortable. And like I said, those things will make people uncomfortable that, like you said, when they're comfortable, they don't want to change. Maybe they want to, but they don't have the mental strength to change or have an idea of how that will look like.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So a lot of that really comes down to planning too. But if you have not a single idea what the other side looks like, how can you plot to get there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got to have some type of direction, and the blind can't lead the blind.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why, like, just because I'm a nerd too, so I read all kinds of books. But there's these ancient societies like Rosicrucians, esoterics, exoterics, and they had the belief that you cannot understand what is truly good without experiencing what is truly evil.
Yeah.
So, like with fighting, and then all the stuff that we're talking about, you know, it's if all we knew was one side of things, then it wouldn't matter if it's good or bad because we just keep on doing it. But when we're exposed to both the bad and we see opportunities of good, that's where we're left with a choice to either continue it or to seek out the good. And more times than not, especially in Muay Thai and just fighting in general, we oftentimes gravitate towards what makes us good.
Right. Absolutely, because even in Muay Thai, you got to make the right choices all the time, whether it's in the ring, in the diet, in your routine. It's all have to be on the right side of the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be half-assed, and you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You literally, to be a successful Muay Thai athlete, you have to have both feet on the right side.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm happy for Antonio, because he just flew out back
Man.
Wednesday, right?
Man, I'm so happy for him. Like, when he came to me, I think he was like 16, 17 years old. Right? And I've known Antonio since he was 10. So we're very familiar with each other. But he came to me when he was, 16, 17 years old. He was on probation, bro. I think I have a video on my phone when he was in here hitting pads with a fucking ankle monitor on.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like we can't, like I said, I relate to some of these people, man. Like I was in these situations before. And for some reason, he chose me, and I welcomed him with open arms. You know what I mean? I've watched him grow as a fighter since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So I've always known he was good. But when he wanted to come back to the game, everybody didn't want to give him a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I don't know why they didn't. Maybe they didn't want trouble in their gym. I don't know. But I gave him that chance. I wanted to give him that chance because it just reminded me like, damn, I remember when I was in your shoes when I was going to jail and nobody wanted to fuck with me neither. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everybody turned their back on me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when he came in, I was like, you know what? Let's prove these motherfuckers wrong then. Let's prove these motherfuckers wrong. Now, people like us can do some shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's how it's been. That's how it's always been. You know what I mean? Because they look at me like I'm just some punk-ass thug motherfucker from the hood, which I am. I'm not going to deny it. But the same way, I got good intentions. I got not a bad bone in my body. I guarantee you, when you talk to me in a business room or in the streets, my credit is good on both sides. It doesn't matter who you talk to. My name is good in any hood.
Yeah, you're able to break
you.
free from that cycle of always just keeping things going. You establish a whole new system.
Yeah, and I got respect from both sides now because I'm even still helping people from the hood get out.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I'm showing them ways how to create businesses and do shit that makes sense instead of just relying on the old fucking broken record.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, how long can you fucking do this shit still?
Yep.
It doesn't last forever. You know, Mr. Now these guys are like, hey, how can I do this? How can I get involved with the nonprofit? How can I, open an LLC, all this? And I'm putting them on game. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Right? If I already did it, I'm like I said, I'm not gonna show you how to like fit, or I'm not gonna, or how does this say it? You can lead them to the lake, but you can't make them drink.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And that's what I'm doing, right? I'll show you every tool that I got. Every tool that I got. And if you can use it and make yourself better, if not better than me, I'm happy for you, bro. I'm happy for you.
That's awesome. I major respect for that, because especially too, like a bunch of people I grew up with and everything too. If you're just all by yourself, or you come out of something or something tragic, you have no support system. There's nobody there to back you up. That's one of the worst feelings. Then you really feel alone, and then you feel even more compelled, even subconsciously, to just keeping that chain, that cycle going. And so for you to be able to step in and provide an actual support system, like, hey, I was able to get out. I was able to break free from that chain. This is how you could do it too. And I'm going to be here with you through the steps of the way, because we're social creatures in every way, shape, and form. So for us to do something alone, one of the hardest things to do. And when you have that support, it makes miles. It's immeasurable.
It really does, bro. It really does. And that's why we're so blessed to have the support that we have here at the gym, man. Like, our community is so supportive of everything that we do, man.
Yeah.
For having such a large stable of fighters, man, like, I could count on all our sponsors to back every single one of them.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, they really support the vision of every single one of these athletes, whatever they're trying to do, whether it's the tournament fighting, stadium fighting, professional fighting, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, these guys got our community support, man. And that's why I feel obligated to give back.
Yep.
I'm giving back. That's why we're in these middle schools and elementary schools trying to plant that seed again. Keep trying to plant that seed to just give someone else that might need that opportunity the same opportunity that someone else might have needed.
Yeah, that's super dope. And so break down that too, because now you're getting to work with the schools teaching Muay Thai. That's an entirely new thing, huh?
Yeah, man, and that we've been working on that for like almost a year, right? We've been trying to figure out how to get Southeast Asian arts into schools, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, not everyone's going to be good at football, basketball, baseball, which are the traditional Western sports, right? And when you have tons of minorities in the West Valley, you know what I mean? Like, I'm short as fuck, bro. You think I'm going to be good at playing basketball? Am I going to catch a football? No, bro. I'm not getting hit by none of that.
You don't want to try for a layup?
There's no way, bro. There's no way. And so, like I said, like, I had to create my own lane. And my first lane wasn't the best lane I should have chose. I had to figure that out. But there's not very many lanes for short motherfuckers like me. You know you got to be different, and you know you can't be an athlete, so what else you can be, right? So you had to figure it out. And like I said, I'm just trying to be that extra avenue for people that ain't good at fucking regular sports.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, I probably couldn't wrestle out of a brown paper bag, bro. You know what I mean? So I know I'm not good at things. I'll admit it, but I know I'm good at one thing, and that's fucking Muay Thai.
I love that. Have you ever tried Lethway, or have you ever thought about that? 'Cause
Bro,
that's brutal, bro.
I don't even like getting hit in the face, bro. And you gonna tell me you gonna headbutt me in the mouth? No, bro. I like my teeth. I'm sorry. That's why, in Thailand, Lethway was a Thai sport too, bro. They did that same shit, but you know what I mean? When they brought in boxing gloves and made it into a sport, because they're like, y'all can't keep doing this shit because y'all gonna get fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna just bare knuckle each other, start headbutting each other, knocking your fucking teeth out? Like, that's some uncivilized ass fighting. That's not a fucking sport, bro. And that's why the Thais gave each other gloves. They limited the rules a little bit so it could stay a long living sport that doesn't just look like dudes getting in a bar fight because someone took your seat.
I'm dead. And isn't it too with Lethway, like, and when you're actively fighting, there's the first time you get knocked out, you get a certain grace period where your corner can wake you up and get you back in the fight.
How does that make sense, bro? Tell me how that makes sense, bro. Please.
They just get bust out the smelling starts like, hey, bitch, wake up. Get back to stepping.
I just don't get it, bro. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I feel like Muay Thai is more of a gentleman's sport, right? It's poetic violence. When you get to the Lethway shit where you can get knocked out and revived like this is a fucking video game, I don't want to do that, bro. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be punch drunk. I don't. I I wouldn't be able to talk to you today if I did Lethway, bro. I'd be like talking like Mike Tyson or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm good, bro. I'm good off of Lethway. No disrespect to that. I love the Lethway guys. That's a fucking brutal ass sport, but it's not for me.
Yeah, it's a whole different breed of guys.
It is, bro. I like the gentleman sport. I feel like I'm a gentleman, so I'm gonna stick to my lane.
Exactly. So, what was your record like when you or do you still actively compete? Or are you
I haven't fought in 10 years,
10
bro.
years?
I actually have a longer coaching experience than I have fighting experience.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like I said, I opened my gym in 2008. I think I was 20 years old at the time.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And so I was really young. Most of my fighting happened when I was really young, still being involved with the sport. But, you know what I mean? A lot of it was like fighting against Taekwondo guys and like Kyokushin type of shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't, back then, Muay Thai wasn't that big. So, like, I wasn't fighting actual Muay Thai people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't really start fighting Muay Thai people until, like, later on. So, but I've been coaching for, like 15, 16 years. You know what I mean? So, it's been, I have a lot more coaching experience than I do fighting.
Nice. And you would have never expected you to be on this journey, huh, like you had said?
Nah, bro. To be honest, I thought I was going to be a fucking rapper. I shit you know, you can look at YouTube right now. There's a video of me trying to be a fucking rapper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I honestly didn't think coaching was gonna be what I wanted to do, bro. You know what I mean? Like it really just kind of fell in my lap. And I've told this story a few times, man. Like I've tried to do so many other things because at the end of the day, bro, in my mind, all I want to do is be rich.
Yeah.
Right? Probably just like everybody. You just want to be fucking rich. And I've been doing Muay Thai for so long, it never gave me money.
Mm-hmm.
I've been broke for so fucking long doing Muay Thai, bro, that I wanted to do other things.
Yeah.
Right? I had to look for other things because Muay Thai does not have money in it, bro. Like, you literally, if you're doing Muay Thai for money, you might as well just empty your bank account now because you're going to be spending money to do Muay Thai.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
That's
what I
why
mean?
It's great now for social media because now, like, if like, bro, if you just post a video of you doing some kind of cool spinning kick or whatever, post it online, boom, you start getting a fan base build. But like, you get big enough, then you can start getting sponsors and start making money off of it. So I like what social media gives fighters and like Muay Thai guys now, because if Instagram and all that stuff was around back when you were still competing and you had just started out, like, bro, it would have been a whole different ballgame too.
Very helpful, for sure. Very helpful to help market yourself, right?
Yeah.
Becoming the business.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming the business. It's very helpful. But yeah, bro, marketing, like I said, marketing is a whole other avenue that fighters are starting to understand is a big key in being a fighter, you know what I mean? And you can thank those YouTube guys and content creators for kind of creating that lane and showing that it's possible, because now you have regular people that are just, like I said, content creators being able to get big fights and big money fights. You know what I mean? There's so much, there's still controversy to this day. Like, why are these people getting paid this much when they haven't put in the work? Exactly. But it's because these people want to see them either, one, get beat up, or two, beat somebody up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's like they figured out the fucking recipe. Mm-hmm. And if you know the recipe, money makes the world go round. So if you got, at the end of the day, you got to know how to play the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's not just skills pay the bills. You got to fucking know how to market yourself.
Yeah. That's why, like, I always say that Conor McGregor was the first one to crack the code. And then Sean O'Malley in MMA, he was the one that figured out how to write the recipe. Because now it's just, bro, if you're able to be entertaining and be a good entertainer for social media and all that stuff, and simultaneously be able to back up what you say and get those wins, then your marketability and your brand itself just grows to the point that, one, you could start branching off, getting sponsors. Two, you could start building your own companies, your own businesses, your own services, and you're able to market it off that. You sponsor yourself and you start building it off there.
100%, bro. And that's how these guys have longer careers, right? Because, like I said, you ain't going to fight forever.
I want to ask you, too. Did you have a rapper nickname?
They called me Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin?
Because like I said, bro, I like money, bro. Like, I'm a hustler, bro. I like making money.
I can imagine right now there's an album with you as Benjamin Franklin on a $100 bill. That'd be the album cover.
You know, it's funny. I probably have something of that already made. That
No
says
shit.
That. I shit you not, bro. I shit you not. I actually, I think at one point I was gonna come out with my own rolling papers.
No shit.
Yeah, and it was called Benjamin Danklin.
Hey.
Benjamin Danklin Papers, and I was gonna come out with that, but like I said, see, like, I've tried so many different endeavors, bro. So many different things, and it just comes down to now I'm 100% in Muay Thai. You know what I mean? Like, I learned what it felt like to be stretched hella thin and get little bit of near nothing done. And now I know like what my top priorities are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is this game, which is building fighters, building a platform for people to continue to fight, and giving back to my community.
Exactly. Absolutely. I love that. And so before I let you go, if you had a message that you could give out to the youth, what would that message be?
It's just don't be afraid to fail, man. Don't be afraid to fail. That's the number one thing. Like I said, starting off this podcast, right? Like I failed my way here to this seat. You know what I mean? So just don't be afraid to try things. Accept failure for what it is. Learn from it and pivot. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Like you can summarize life in 3 words, man. It goes on. No matter what happens, it will go on.
Yeah, absolutely. See, I'm glad that we did this. I knew that you and I being on a show together, that'd be a banger.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate everything that you do, from the media, from supporting the fighters, and giving the fighters a platform. You know what I mean? Like you're a big part of this too. You know what I mean? You're doing a solid thing for the community just as well, and I thank you for your contribution to the sports.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I just need to get my fat ass back in the gym more.
Hey,
I need to be trained and ugly.
Hey, come on in, man. We'll take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you for coming on, man. And for you, the fans, this is Josh Said What, the podcast changed the world. We got phenomenal guests left and right, like my boy Vinn here. Be wary. He'll kick your ass, too. But, hey, we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.